Today we're going to get to see an absolute stud of a hero, of a mountain of a man. Not a big man, but a big in stature and big in character, and he has my highest respect. Hi everyone, welcome to today's research-informed defensive lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I am your host, John Correa. Today's is an absolute doozy. It comes to us from Almaty Airport in Kazakhstan. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. Go read the news stories that I've linked in the description on this one, and you will see that this man who is in his 60s had a knife in his carry-on, and then when he was called on it by the 21-year-old security person that he has a hold of here, he is then going to take her hostage and threaten her with the knife and tell everybody around when they start yelling at him that he has a bomb in his backpack that he will set off with his cell phone. It gets pretty crazy from here and very interesting, so let's listen in to the audio. They pummeled the tar out of this guy, got him into custody, and saved the day. He did not have a bomb in his backpack. I don't know why he did this, but the guy that stopped all of this is over on the right side here, has been hailed as a hero and received a presidential medal. Now, in the news stories that I've linked in the description, they laud the fact that he's a former boxer and a former Muay Thai practitioner and a former martial artist. And he says in there, if you go watch it, he says, oh man, that was all long ago in the past. He said he's just a regular 50-something-year-old man who thought, what if that was my daughter's? I have to step in there and do something. So he offered himself up and saved everybody here. All right, here's where we insert all the Borat jokes, right? Great success, very nice. Man, this guy's a stud. I mean, just hats off to you, sir, in every respect. It's a very interesting one because, of course, anybody who is about to go through security at the airport is not going to be carrying their firearm. I mean, I carry a gun with me everywhere. But I fly on commercial airliners quite a bit, and of course the gun is going to be down in the baggage hold at that point. It's checked baggage because you can't take it with you. You can't take really any defensive tools with you. So obviously this guy has done something quite insane, but how are you going to solve that? And I think that there's an answer here that you might say, hey, I'm not responsible for this, and just bug out. Now, you do notice that everybody's kind of standing around and watching. I wouldn't recommend that. Get the heck out of the area because you don't know when the cops are going to show up with guns, and you don't want to be there when they do, quite frankly. Or if you're going to step in like this 50-year-old hero did, how are you going to do so? What are you going to do to affect it? You better have a high level of empty-handed skills or have brought some surreptitious tools like a cane or something like that that has a normal purpose for you that you could also use as a defensive tool. He didn't in this case, but hey, having some improvised defensive tools, probably your only option here. Now, of course, this poor 21-year-old's freaking out. I don't blame her for that. Guy's taking her hostage, holding her by the ponytail and threatening her with a knife. But ladies, I also want to recognize that you're responsible for you, and she can continue to take steps and thoughts. If he'll let her hair go, she could bolt away from him. So don't give up and don't freak out. Make sure that you're taking steps like, what am I going to do to protect myself? Now, of course, this 50-something-year-old man just deserves our highest praise. And God bless this man. I mean this in every ounce of my being. I don't know that I can get it to Kazakhstan, but if anybody has any contact information for me, this man belongs in the Special Pants Brigade for sure. And I think, it's a traditional part of American culture as well for men to say, hey, I'm in a protective role, and so I'm willing to step in to protect women, even women that I don't know. And if that's you, would you do this? And let me know in the comments. Maybe that's something that you feel like you would do. Okay, but recognize now you are putting the life and future of your loved ones at stake, right? Because he might stab you to death with this. So your wife may not get to grow old with you. Your children may not get you around when things are, when they are older, when you are older. You may not get to be there for your grandchildren, your coworkers, all those things. And you may feel, but I have to. It's part of my responsibility. Okay, just understand what the consequences are and be at peace with them in advance. And if you're going to do this, you better have a very high level of skill. He had a significant background in boxing and Muay Thai. Great. That will give you that. Even if it's long in the past, those skills can remain and the attitude certainly remains. So good for him on that. Now, of course, he's going to have to wait for his opportunity, right? So you don't want to just go in there and start wailing on the guy. He's got the knife. So you got to look and say, okay, feigned compliance. Purposeful compliance is the way that I learned this. And this empty-handed stuff, I'm the student of Lawrence Robinson, the student of Skip Hancock, the student of Ed Parker at Attitude First Martial Arts Academy in Phoenix, Arizona. And this is the way that, Master Lawrence Robinson at Attitude First taught me, which is, again, purposeful compliance, doing what he asks in order to gain the initiative and look for when it is my turn. And that's exactly what he's doing here. And until then, do what he says and look for an opportunity when he's not paying attention and when you can seize the initiative advantage and take definitive action to flip the force script. What you're really looking for here, he has a force advantage right now, but if you can get that knife away from him, then that force advantage evaporates. But you can only do that, not if you directly challenge him, but if you can get it away before he is able to respond. And this is what our good guy does. As you notice here, that our perpetrator is looking away from him. He is loosely holding the knife, and our defender is intently looking at both of those. He's not looking at me right now, so I have an initiative advantage, and he's not expecting it. He's holding the knife loosely, so therefore it's my go signal. Now, you better plan those out in advance. I'm gonna go when, because that takes this from a very complicated problem, complex problem, to a very simple problem, a clear problem. And when we have clarity, then we can act with definitive nature. And that's very important here. Taking complex and chaotic and complicated problems and making them very clear. Pardon me, Baptist preacher background, right? And you got to have 3 alliterated points in a poem. So he takes that opportunity and watch what he does. He reaches out and grabs a hold. And then once he gets a hold of that knife, notice how short his initiative advantage is, though, that our perp is already starting to pull his hand back, trying to get his hand away. You only have a very brief moment, which is why you need to move fast and you need to move when you have the initiative and when he's not paying attention to you, that it takes him just a little bit of time to figure out what is going on. So then he grabs a hold of that knife by the blade, no less. Scary and dangerous. He's willing to take the cut. Okay, you better be ready to take the cut. You might lose some of those fingers doing that. And then you're gonna watch, he just chucks it. He just absolutely tosses the knife and then goes to work on this guy. I think he's worried about what could be in the backpack. Can the guy get a hold of his cell phone? And so then he's going to grab a hold of the guy, and then they're going to start beating that dude like he is a rented mule. And good and okay and fine. Sometimes our bravery, once one person gets into the mix, other people will join as well. It lowers the inhibition for people to get involved when somebody gets involved. And he did an excellent job of that here, of being the one who was. I think he should get our highest commendation throughout the world, that this man is an absolute hero of the day and really exhibits the highest standard of taking care of his community. And I love the fact that his president gave him a significant medal for his country. And I just want to note here at the very end, look at how normal this man looks. This is not a tier one operator. This is not a guy who looks like, he's got big cauliflower ears or he spent a lifetime of doing nothing but tactical training. He's just a regular guy thinking about his kids, thinking about his girls, thinking about the fact that he had to do something to stop this. I commend him for that. Sir, you saved everyone there that day and covered your ass.